Welcome to the Investing Podcast, presented by Tusk Media. Now, for your early morning look at financial news and activity in audio and video form, here's the Morning Market Mimosa.
Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Investing Podcast presented by Tusk Media. It is Thursday, July 14th, 2016. This is your Morning Market Mimosa. Before we jump in too much into it, check your calendar, set a reminder, set an alarm on your phone, tell your assistant to let you know when it's 4:15, because today at 4:15, you know what it is. It's Thursday, so we are doing the Investing Podcast live. Go to @Tusk Media LLC, again, @Tusk Media LLC, to check the live Periscope link. We will show you behind the scenes action, might even catch some Pokemon while we're in the process. We'll see what happens. Check that out, but we're going to be right on schedule, I think, today. We'll hit you this morning, which we're doing right now. We're going to hit you around lunchtime with a stock market power lunch. We'll probably have the actual cut and edited version of the Investing Happy Hour ready to roll by 4:30, 4:45 for your drive home. So let's jump in right now, talk about the markets. Markets pointing upward. We talked a little bit yesterday about kind of some of the inconsistencies between these major indices and the returns we're seeing in them, but everything is pointing north right now. Dow is up about 80 basis points on a futures basis. S&P 500 about 75 basis points positive. NASDAQ up about 64. Gold is down about 1.5%. Oil is up close to 2%. So futures are looking pretty good. They were looking pretty good all morning, but everybody wanted to see the jobless claims data, and that has now come through. Jobless claims data basically flat at about 254,000. So that's, I guess, good news. It'd be better if it went down, but certainly no huge swing of layoffs or anything like that right there. Market seems to be looking pretty upbeat heading into real trading. Also along those lines, Bank of England, they did not lower their interest rates. There was a lot of speculation that that might happen. That's been the speculation ever since the Brexit vote. Hate to use the B word there, but ever since the B word happened, a lot of people have been saying maybe they'll actually lower the interest rate there, but they did not do that. They left speculation very much on the table to actually do that in August. So they still have some ammunition, so to speak, in storage if they want to do that. One bank of note, JP Morgan, reported earnings. Profit fell from where it was a year ago on an EPS basis, that's earnings per share, but it beat analyst estimates pretty consistently. So analysts expected about $1.43 in earnings per share. They got $1.55, so that's really solid. Stock's up really nicely in pre-market trading today. MarketWatch. We got to talk about this a little bit, folks. Continues to build, continues to escalate. As some of you may remember, we released what many have called the Song of the Summer. It was a podcast about Pokemon a couple nights ago. About 18 hours later, MarketWatch ran a story that was almost identical in terms of how they titled it, and it was basically about how you can invest in this Pokemon thing. A guy named Cody Willard wrote it. We kind of felt like they were stepping on our toes a little bit. We use MarketWatch a lot. We even say that in the disclosure we get all our data either from MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal, but felt like they were kind of infringing on our personal space, our Poke space, so to speak. So we started a war with them. The war is escalating. That's the only word I can think to use here, because we've gone back and forth some, traded some barbs with the bureau chief of their San Francisco branch and a guy that does a tech editor for them, a guy named Jeremy Owens. And he came back and said, no, we actually wrote about Pokemon Go before you guys did. And it was interesting. I threw my notepad down and discussed just a minute ago, but I've got to pick it up so we can read some quotes from it. Boom, we're back. Kind of interesting quotes from their first piece about Pokemon Go, which in fairness was up before we did. It talked about Google and all that, but really some great analysis, some real quotes from here. Pokemon Go works really well outside where there's existing good mapping. Groundbreaking stuff there from somebody who probably is maybe a level 2 or level 3 Pokemon trainer, not a level 13 trainer like I am. So sure, they wrote about it, but I don't really consider that to be the exact same thing. You know, a lot of people have written a lot of things, but when a kindergartner writes a sentence, we don't necessarily call it a novel. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do here. They're trying to tear down really just this incredible opus that we put together in the podcast and try to say, oh, we did it first. No, not really. You might have done it first. We did it best. So you had that going. We also kind of traded barbs in terms of how good we are at assembling Pokemon squads, not even actually collecting Pokemon, but people to go hunt with us. We sent out a picture, whole crew of us hunting some Pokemon. They sent back a picture of their newsroom with the Pokemon in it, only one person playing it. That's just a terrible example. Again, shows how green they are, how inexperienced they are in the world of Pokemon Go. I think, at the end of the day, I could go to Times Square and take a picture of a lot of Pokemon, right? There's a bunch there. I could go to Central Park. I could go to Marietta Square just a few miles from here. Might have even done that this morning before work. But just because I go where there's a lot of people playing Pokemon Go doesn't mean those people are in my squad. So if you send me a picture of a Pokemon in a newsroom, I think that's a lot of people at work, not necessarily a lot of people playing Pokemon Go with you. So I still don't think these guys really know what they're doing. Cody Willard, writer of the article, total ghost. Hadn't heard a thing from Cody. He's liked some tweets. I think he's kind of enjoying the rhetoric here a little bit. But I want to extend right now, open invite to anyone from the MarketWatch camp. If you want to come here, if you want to settle this, if you want to handle this like men, like adults, there's only one way to do it. Come on the pod. Open invite, anytime, any place. We will talk Pokemon Go. You don't even have to show up at our studios here in Metro Atlanta. We can do this on Skype. We can do it over cell phone. We could use AOL Instant Message or whatever you guys use when you're not playing Pokemon Go, because you're clearly not doing enough of that. Let's make this thing happen. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you around lunchtime. Stock Market Power Lunch coming at you.
Tusk Media is a subsidiary of Narwhal Capital Management. Ratings and reviews of Tusk Media content are not to be construed as endorsements of opinions, analysis, or services offered by Tusk or its parent company. The opinions and predictions shared here are our professional beliefs at the time of publication. We are not under duress from any of the corporate entities mentioned. This is not a solicitation to take any particular action. Although we are investment advisors, this information should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. We strive to be as impartial, insightful, and accurate as possible. We base our opinions, analysis, and calculations on information we believe to be reliable, but we cannot guarantee its accuracy. We can, however, guarantee that our opinions will sometimes be flat out wrong due to a variety of factors. Employees and clients of Narwhal Capital Management may or may not hold positions in the securities detailed and may or may not hold these positions in the future. A full list of all securities purchased, sold, or held during the 12 months preceding the date of this publication can be provided upon request. Unless otherwise noted, all data accessed via MarketWatch or the Bloomberg terminal. Past performance does not guarantee future results. A copy of Narwhal's Form ADV is available at the SEC's website, www.advisorinfo.sec.gov, or from Narwhal upon written request.